Are you slicing? Are your friends laughing at you? Are you late for dinner? Well, if the answer is yes, you've come to the right place. Let's do this.
A New Breed of Golf with Michael Breed.
Welcome to A New Breed of Golf. I'm Michael Breed. So excited to have you back in the studio here. We want to talk today about weight transfer or weight shift. Why is it so important? Well, one of the reasons why it's important is that you're losing that golf ball to the right. You're hitting slices. You're hitting that ball that's just heading off into the trees and you can't control it. What we want to do is change that. We also want to understand how to get that golf ball up into the air. And that's all a result of not having the proper weight transfer. Now, standing in front of the Microsoft Surface Hub here, I want to explain to you what you're looking at right here. This is a little thing that we've set up. This F right here, this is all about weight distribution. So that F is standing for forward, okay? Then over here, this T, that stands for toe. So now here, what's the opposite of the toe? Well, that's the heel. And then over here, this is back. So when we're moving weight, we have to make sure to understand that we're moving weight from the forward to the back, or forward being in this direction, back being in this direction, and from the toes to the heels, which is basically moving from the toe down this way or from the heel up to the toe. So we pull it up here. Now, what are we doing to cause that shot? What are we doing to cause that weight distribution? Let me put this back and we'll get back to that in a little bit. What's happening to you is when you're transferring in the backswing, you're not getting a full coil and getting that weight into that trail heel and getting the weight on that lead foot to go from the heel up to the toe. So what ends up happening is you get it into the toe of the lead foot, but the heel has no pressure into the ground. And as a result, you get a very steep angle of approach and you get a trajectory that starts out very low and likely has a little bit of spin to the right. I'll show you what that's going to look like. So I'm going to set up a little bit heavy now. I'm just going to exaggerate this. And what you're going to see is that this golf ball now flights out really, really low. In fact, the launch is to the left, and this is interesting to see. So look at my horizontal launch. That's to the left. My vertical launch is 9.2 degrees, which means it's really, really low. And ball speed is down, club head speed is down, and distance is down. And when that distance starts to get down, you start to get down. Now, what we've got to do is we've got to take care of solving that problem. How do we solve that problem? Well, we got to get the weight into that trail heel. And when I talk about the trail heel, what I'm talking about is getting this feeling that the weight distribution is sinking into that trail heel. What I'll show you what I mean. I got two tennis balls. I'm going to put a tennis ball right here on this side over here in the B, and then I'm going to put that tennis ball right over there so you can see that in camera 5. What I want to do is I want to get that weight distribution right into this spot in the backswing. So when I stand in here, I want to feel like I'm sinking down into that tennis ball right there, get that weight into that back heel. Watch what happens when I hit this shot. Watch what happens to the trajectory of the shot, the start angle, and most importantly, the distance. So I'm going to really feel that weight get into that heel in the backswing. Now I hit that up into the air, and notice what happens. This ball is going to turn. Is it going to get in the bucket? Oh, no, because I hit it too far. Now watch how things change here. This is really fun to see. First of all, my apex went up to 108 feet. That's really high. In fact, Greg, can you show me those down the line shots of the difference between those two shots? What you're going to notice here is a dramatic difference in how these golf balls flight out and what they look like when they're traveling through the air there. And what you'll also understand, there you go, that's perfect. You can see the red one, well, that actually starts out to the right and turns back to the target. It just went too far. The blue one there starts out, look at how low that is. And ultimately the distance changed. So when you come over here and we start talking about the distance, my total distance with this 6-iron went about 190 yards. I flew it in the air about 185. Ball speed goes up to 121, which is tremendous. But my vertical launch, this is the thing you want to pay attention to. Remember, we were at 9.2 with the first one. Look at this. This one doubles and goes up to 20. So as I start to get that golf ball to get up into the air, all of a sudden, I start getting that distance. Now, what are the things that you can do to change your trajectory. How are you going to be able to get that golf ball to go zipping up into the air, to understand how we're going to get that weight into the heel? Well, you know what? When you come back to a new breed of golf, I'm going to give you all those key insights so you can gain that distance, get rid of the slice, and start telling all of your friends, you got to watch a new breed of golf. I'm telling you, I'm learning things. We're going to show you that next. Back on A New Breed of Golf, I'm Michael Breed, excited to talk to you about how to get rid of that slice, how we're going to be able to get that apex up, and we're going to gain some distance. So let's go over to the Microsoft Surface Hub again, and let me do a little drawing for you. As I told you before, we're dealing with forward and back and toe and heel. Now, what you need to understand about weight distribution and how it moves, it's going to move in a circular fashion. In other words, we're 50-50 right across this line here. When this starts to move, we're going to get some weight that's going to be moving in a circle in this fashion here. So it's going to drop back on the inside part of that heel in the backswing. Then as we start into the downswing, it's going to move along this line up to the F, which is forward, and then it's going to start to move back like this, back into the heel. That's really how that weight is going to transfer there. Now, how are you going to understand how to do it? Well, one of my favorite things to use is this semi-foam roller, this half foam roller. What I like to do is get on this, and when you do this, you can use this just to understand it. Just use your club to help you have some balance. You're going to stand on this, and in this fashion, what we want to do is we want to feel my knee, my calf, my right hip or my trail hip sink back in this fashion. Now, what you need to understand is you're not sliding laterally. It's a rotation. It's a spin. So when this is moving, this is spinning back this way. That's what's taking my weight back into the heel. And in that shot in the down the line, you can see how my shin is moving back. And look at the toes of my feet. You see how they're popping up into the air? That's that weight distribution moving back into that heel. And that's lifting that up. Now, what you're also going to notice, if you go back to that shot, Gibbsy, what you're also going to notice is what's happening with my forward leg. So watch the shin of my forward leg. That is going to start to show up a little bit more. I'm not losing necessarily the knee flex in the trail, and I'm not changing, but the knee flexes are slightly different. And you can see how much of that lead leg we start to see. And that's because we're getting that weight distribution to go forward. So when we do that, that weight distribution on the lead leg going to the toe, weight distribution in the trail leg going to that heel, and also the weight's going back. So let's have another one of these. Let's see if I can get another apex at 110 or 108. Remember, we round up. Now this one I got a little bit more aggressive with that toe, so you're going to see that golf club really spin that ball to the left. But again, watch what's happening with the trajectory of that shot. That launch angle is up there about 14. Let's take a trip up here because we like to do that. That you can see that vertical launch is up into the 14. Remember, the other one was 9.2. So as long as we're at that 14 or higher, we're starting to get that golf ball to get up into the air. Now, I had way too much toe relief on that one, or too much toe action. I got 2,000 RPMs of left spin. Got to change that. But the point is, and what I got was a lot more inside, a lot more depth. That's why the club head speed went up so much. Now, in order for me to get rid of that toe action and get that club going down the line that I want, now from there, that's when I'm going to start to transfer into that lead side, or that weight's going to get out to the toe again of the lead foot. It stays there, and then it starts to back up and away. Now, when I take these tennis balls and I put them here and get on them, as I start to go back, once I shift this way, this is where both of the tennis balls are compressing against the ground. And now from here, now I start to expand off. That's when I'm getting a little bit more rotation in the lower body. And that's what's going to allow that club to stay down the line and not get so active with the hands. So we get back here, body rotates. We feel that calf go back. We get that weight distribution to go to the toe of the lead foot and the heel of the trail foot. And then we're going to go shift in there and then rotate. This trajectory should come up. I shouldn't get an over rotation of that golf ball, and it should start to the right. So what you're going to see is this is a really good shot. Watch the distance on this shot. This is This is great. Let's come on up here and let's look at all these things, because this is really what you're trying to do. Remember, you're trying to get rid of that slice. You're trying to get rid of that weak shot. You're trying to get rid of that low trajectory shot. Let's look at all these numbers. First of all, ball speed up to 123. Clubhead speed almost 87 miles an hour. So I'm generating more clubhead speed. And the reason why I'm doing that is I'm getting a fuller turn, because that hip is that trail hip is moving out of the way, and I'm sinking weight into that trail heel. Now what all of a sudden I get a vertical launch of 18.2. In order for you to hit a draw, the ball has to start out to the toe side of the club and then spin back to the heel. Horizontal launch, 2.4 to the right. Look at the distance, 190 in the air, 194 and a half when it's all done. The ball is going so much higher, and my apex again at 100 feet, it's not rolling out. So when you want to get better, and I mean really improve, you've got to change what you're doing with the trajectory of the golf shot, and it's all falling into what you're doing with your weight distribution or weight transfer through the shot. So what we want to do, just to remember, the body is rotating in a circular fashion. The hips are going in the backswing this way. Weight's going to get to that trail heel and onto the lead toe. As you get to the top of the swing with that good full rotational move, now what you're going to do is you're going to get a little bit of drive in there, and then from there, you're going to rotate up. That's going to get the club coming from the inside. It's going to get that ball up into the air. You're going to gain that distance, get rid of that slice. And remember, you want to improve your game? Right here on A New Breed of Golf, we're giving you all the information that you need to have. Join me next time.